now transport of gases, the first is transport of oxygen. So only 3% is in the form of dissolved form and 97% combined with hemoglobin. So which is more important, combined with hemoglobin, of course. And for that you need to remember 1 mm Hg of PO2 will dissolve how much oxygen in 100 ml of blood? Answer is 0.003 ml. So in alveoli the pressure is around 100 mm Hg. So what will be the amount of oxygen that is dissolved in the plasma in 100 ml of blood will be 0.3 ml oxygen in 100 ml of blood. So this is about, that is dissolved form. Now about the hemoglobin. So remember please, this is a very important point, highlight this, 1 gram hemoglobin carries 1.34 ml oxygen in 100 ml of blood, and you know we have around 15-14 gram. Suppose hemoglobin is 15 gram. Let me take one value, 15 gram hemoglobin. In that condition, 1.34 into 15 will be 21 ml oxygen in 100 ml of blood. So that is carrying only 0.3 ml in 100 ml, and this is carrying 21. So 21 upon 0.3. So 70 times, you can say 70 times more is carried by hemoglobin in comparison to the dissolved form. So hemoglobin carries how many times more? 70 times than that is dissolved in the plasma. Now one more thing, after it is dissolved or carried by hemoglobin, hemoglobin will dissociate and it will provide oxygen to each and every tissue. Now this oxygen hemoglobin curve is not straight, he is not very humble, he is not very just, he is sigmoid, because he want to avoid oxygen dissociation in those areas who are already having more oxygen in the arterial side. In the arterial side, it becomes very miser. It does not want to waste oxygen. But in the venous area, wherever oxygen is less, it becomes very humble, start dissociating. That is why the curve is not straight, curve is sigmoidal in nature, and the reason is the cooperative binding. What is cooperative binding? Hemoglobin have 4 pockets. If one oxygen is attached to the hemoglobin, it will cause second attachment of the oxygen, third attachment of the oxygen. So attachment of one oxygen molecule to the hemoglobin favors attachment of second molecule, second will favor third, third will favor fourth. And when one is dissociated, automatically second will be dissociated, third will be dissociated, and then fourth will be dissociated. So this behavior of hemoglobin is called as cooperative binding. This is the reason oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve is sigmoid in nature. So this is not a straight line, it is sigmoid in nature. And what is the reason? I have told you, binding of one oxygen molecule with hemoglobin attract second oxygen molecule, similarly third and fourth. This is called as cooperative binding. Now there can be right shift, there can be left shift. Right shift means you need more oxygen, like exercise, acidosis. Left shift means when you need less oxygen. So you can see here that hemoglobin have 2 position. One is called as tense position, other is called as relaxed position. So whenever hemoglobin is in the tense position, it does not favor binding. So whenever hemoglobin is in the tense position, it does not favor binding. Dissociation of oxygen will be more, affinity will be low. When oxygen in the relaxed position, it favors more binding. It is called as cooperative behavior of hemoglobin, and this is the reason the curve is sigmoid in nature. Is this clear, doctor? So it is because of the position. In one position it is tense, in other position it is relaxed, and this behavior is called as cooperative binding. I have told you right shift means when you need more oxygen, dissociation will be more. Here oxygen dissociation will be more, and oxygen hemoglobin affinity become less. So in right shift means that oxygen dissociation increases, you can see here, dissociation increases, affinity decreases, like acidosis when you need more oxygen. It can be because of less pH or more carbon dioxide, like increase in the temperature, like increase in 2,3 dpg, exercise or high altitude. So all these condition, the oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve will be right shifted. In the condition when you need less oxygen, like alkalosis, like decreased temperature, fetal hemoglobin, less affinity of 2,3-DPG, methemoglobin or stored blood, in all those conditions like decreased 2,3-DPG, the shift will be left. In chronic acidosis, it inhibits glycolytic enzyme, so decreases 2,3-DPG, and that is why curve will be shifted. So this is the table which is asked in your examination so many times. Now coming to the Bohr effect, decrease in affinity of the hemoglobin when pH is less, it will shift to right. So right shifting of oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve is simply called as Bohr's effect. It is not a new phenomena. Don't mug up. Try to understand the right shifting of oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve is simply when you need more oxygen, like acidosis, okay, like less pH, like more carbon dioxide. So this is called as Bohr's effect. Now what is double Bohr's effect? It happens in the placenta. At the placenta there is a mother side, there is a baby side, fetus side. So normally fetus have more carbon dioxide, so it will go towards the mother. So baby become, you can say, alkaline, mother become more acidic. So here will be right shift, here will be left shift. Okay, so both shifts are happening at the same place. So it is called as double Bohr's effect. It is happening at what place? Answer is placenta. Now P50, this is a term especially for your short note, for your MCQ, for your Viva YC. P50, what is the P50? It is the partial pressure of oxygen. It is the partial pressure of oxygen at which hemoglobin is 50% saturated, and it is the observational finding we have seen at 27 mmHg. So remember doctors, it is a very important point. Sometimes they ask you when you will get P50. Answer will be at 27 mmHg of pressure. Okay, at this pressure oxygen is 50% saturated with hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is 50% saturated with the oxygen. Lower is the P50, higher is the affinity, lesser will be the oxygen dissociation. And acidosis will inhibit glycolysis, so 2,3-DPG become less. So these are the points.